AMD have announced their new Ryzen 4000 mobile CPUs for laptops, along with Radeon 5600M and 5700M graphics. So let's find out what this means, what improvements we can expect, and how performance could stack up to the Intel and Nvidia competition. The new Ryzen 4000 series CPUs are based on the Zen 2 7nm architecture, so same as the desktop 3000 series chips that came out last year. Like in the past, AMD have broken the CPUs down into U and H series. U processors are meant to be lower powered for thinner and lighter machines, while H series chips would be for larger, higher powered devices. If we take a look at the processor lineup, we've got a couple of H series CPUs and a bunch of U series chips. Let's start out with the H CPUs. In the H series, there's the Ryzen 5 4600H with 6 cores and 12 threads, and the Ryzen 7 4800H with 8 cores and 16 threads. It's worth noting that the max boost clock listed will be for single core, so definitely don't expect these speeds from multi-core workloads. There are also apparently lower powered S versions too. Asus in particular noted the use of the 4800HS in their new G14 gaming laptop. From my understanding, this is the same CPU as the 4800H, but with a lower 35W power limit, but I didn't get too many details. I found it interesting that they've got an 8-core 16-thread part with just a 15W power limit. Obviously, we're expecting lower clock speeds. The 4.2 GHz quoted here is the same as the 45W 4800H, but it's just single core, so that could be feasible. It'll be interesting to see how it actually performs in multi-core workloads. I could still see it as being a benefit as more and more apps start to take advantage of more cores, even if they are lower powered compared to a higher power limit 4 or 6 core CPU for instance. AMD are claiming a big boost to multi-core performance when strictly comparing performance within that 15W power range. To be fair, the base clock of the 4800U is a full 1.1 GHz below the 4800H, which has the higher 45W power limit, but without testing, we don't know what speeds to expect. Base clock should be worst case. I can't recall testing any gaming laptops that ran at base clock. AMD is showing it dominating one of the best 10nm Ice Lake options from Intel in Cinebench multi-core, as the Ice Lake U series tops out at 4 cores, 8 threads. However, even single core had a slight edge with Ryzen. The Vega graphics in the Ryzen chip is also apparently beating Intel's new Iris graphics. But these are the AMD provided results showing the differences in different workloads. It's important to take all of these graphs with a grain of salt, as they're always going to make them look good. We won't know for certain until we get some of these laptops for independent review and testing. So far there's no word if overclocking or undervolting will be supported. That would be cool, but I'm not getting my hopes up. I guess we'll see. It's also worth noting that the memory speed supported by the Ryzen 4000 series is DDR4 3200, which is a significant increase over the previous Ryzen platform limitation of DDR4 2400, and this should also assist with boosting performance over last gen. Unlike the desktop Ryzen processors, the mobile ones are still using PCIe 3 rather than 4, but that's not a big deal here, but it does mean no faster PCIe 4 storage for laptops. It's great that these AMD laptops are able to offer FreeSync for a smoother tear-free gaming experience. I'm not 100% sure how this works, but it must be the Vega graphics within the CPU that are wired to the display, because FreeSync is still possible in laptops with an AMD CPU but Nvidia GPU. It only seems to be Intel-based systems that aren't offering this feature. To use G-Sync for example, the Intel integrated graphics needs to be disabled. So when can we expect to see Ryzen 4000 laptops? Well, for now, AMD have just mentioned Q1 2020, so basically between now and the end of March. I haven't yet been contacted regarding reviewing any new laptops with any either. I found it interesting that despite AMD's claim of the new Ryzen 4800H beating the Intel i7 9750H in gaming performance, that we didn't see any 4000 series CPUs in any higher-end refreshed laptops at CES. It could just be that different companies are testing the waters with Ryzen and taking it slow, but personally, I think this is a little telling. These guys would have had the new chips available for some time for testing to create their new products. So the lack of higher-end laptops based on Ryzen 4000 mobile chips kind of leads me to believe they're not quite beating Intel yet, either in terms of performance, power draw, or cost. But that's just my guess. If that wasn't the case, then why are there only low to mid-range laptops at CES with Ryzen 4000? The best one I saw would be the Asus G14 with 2060 Max-Q. I don't think there were any 2070 or above for instance. I guess it could be due to the possibility of new Nvidia graphics being on the way, so maybe they wanted to hold off. We'll have to wait and see. In addition to new CPUs, AMD also announced the 5600M and 5700M graphics for laptops. However, very little information was actually provided, and no laptops featuring these graphics were seen at CES this year, at least at the companies I visited. So far, I've tested the 5500M in the MSI Alpha 15. And it fell in between the Nvidia GTX 1650 and 1660 Ti. However, it was also running at 85 watts, while the 1660 Ti ran at 80 watts. Based on this, it makes me think despite using 7nm Navi, these AMD options may also use more power than the Nvidia competition at the higher end. This is important for laptops, as it means they may need better cooling and power delivery, potentially meaning we only see them in larger laptops. But these are just my own thoughts and speculation. Let me know what you think about AMD's Ryzen 4000 mobile CPUs and Radeon 5600M and 5700M graphics down in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, get subscribed for the rest of my CES 2020 coverage.